Blink Publishing presents Let the Good Times Roll, written by Kenney Jones and read by David John.
Hi, this is Kenney Jones. Thanks for choosing to listen to the story of my life so far. Over the years I've thought about writing this book, but it never seemed to be quite the right moment. Now, as I approach my 70th birthday, I have decided the time has finally arrived. It's been an emotional journey, from reliving my days as a scallywag running around London's East End to obtaining my first drum kit and discovering the magic of drumming, from playing along to the only 3 records my dad had in the house. Setting off down that path eventually led me to perform and record with some of the world's greatest rock musicians. David Bowie, as David Jones as I knew him in those days, Rod Stewart, Pete Townsend, Joe Cocker, Jimmy Page, Mick Jagger and Paul McCartney. I've been so blessed in my musical career, the list could go on and on. Throughout it all, there has been a great deal of laughter, plenty of mad antics, some bad behaviour, a lot of music, plus tears I've shed over those I have lost. I hope you enjoy the ride as much as I have.
Chapter 1. All right, little Herbert. Nah, never heard of him. That would have been the response to anyone in the 1950s walking down Havering Street in London's East End, where I grew up, asking where Kenney Jones lived. Back then I was known to my mates and everyone on the street as Kenny Ward. I was the only child of Violet Elizabeth Jones and Samuel Thomas Jones, born on the 16th of September 1948. We lived at number 34 with my mum's parents, Jane and William Ward. That terraced house in Stepney had been the Ward family home for, well, it seemed like forever. And although Kenneth Thomas Jones was my real name, no one ever thought of me as that. My grandparents were part of the furniture of Stepney and very nearly ended up as part of the street itself. My grandfather used to tell the story of a bomb dropping at the bottom of Havering Street during the Blitz, down by Commercial Road, while he and my nan were in bed. I don't know why there wasn't an air raid siren, but obviously they woke up with the explosion. It was a very near miss. Not only did all the windows of their house shatter, but the blast was sufficiently strong also to blow in the bedroom window frame, which ended up hanging around their necks as they were sitting up, probably thinking this was it for them. I saw something similar happen many years later to a very angry man in a hotel lobby in Honolulu, although with a picture rather than a window frame. I thought it was a laugh. I'm sure my grandparents didn't find their experience at all amusing. Our house in Havering Street was the centre of the whole family, the Joneses and the Wards. A happy home, full of love and affection. My dad's parents also lived close by, across the road near Arbor Square, Nick, where I made my first public appearance. I'll get onto that in a moment. Mum always told me that it was Nan and Grandad who brought me up because she was too ill. She was always telling me she was ill, and while it's true she didn't always keep the best of health, she lived to the age of 89. I think I'm right in saying that she was among the first women in England to undergo a pioneering colostomy procedure, a big deal back then. I was 16 at the time and remember visiting her in hospital, telling her all about my hit record that had just come out. She was in the London Jewish Hospital on Stepney Green. Not that we're Jewish, but that, of course, didn't matter at all. People of all religions were cared for there. Mum was very well looked after. The hospital had originally been built to help meet the needs of the large Jewish community who were very much part of the fabric of the East End. Many working in the garment industry, known as the rag trade, and contributing to the vivid character of the streets on which I played, and sometimes ran riot. One Jewish lady in particular stands out in my memory, or more precisely, what she sold stands out. She ran a delicatessen on Cable Street, around the corner from us, where you could buy bread
Sample complete. Ready to continue?